RPGs have always been a staple of modern gaming, with the ever-improving hardware and optimization of this hardware within the current gen of consoles and PCs enabling some truly magnificent examples within the genre, such as The Witcher 3, Skyrim, Mass Effect, Fallout, and many, many others. This list will cover a few games you might have heard of, a couple that you definitely have heard of, and maybe one that you haven't, that are coming out in 2017. If you think I've missed anything or you disagree entirely, let me know in the comments, but for now, I'm Dodge Gaming, and we'll get straight into this.
We're marooned. 20,000 souls adrift at sea. When the power runs out, stays out, we need to know if that's safe harbor.
Shuttle 2, taking your lead.
Good luck, Pathfinder team.
First up on this list is something that has appeared in pretty much every other list I've done, steadily becoming one of my most talked about games, is the BioWare developed Mass Effect Andromeda. Based around a twin pair of protagonists, female and male, brother and sister that you get to play, they provide your character to enjoy and progress with. Andromeda seems to be taking the strongest things from each of the last 3 games within the franchise, with Mass Effect 1's exploration, hopefully the Mako is less awful this time round, and then using the second and third installment's strong focus on abilities and well-structured combat and physics systems. The gameplay that's been shown so far shows great graphics, animations and abilities balanced around more of an open world feel. The world itself is completely new, with your 2 protagonists being sent out on an exploration craft with thousands of other people looking for a new Earth to inhabit. As such, no Reapers in this game, completely new enemy called the Ket. We don't know much more on that at this point, but they look pretty awesome. I have no doubt that Andromeda will happily fill the boots of the main trilogy, and I hope it paves the way for a brand new trilogy within the new world on show. Do not let us down, BioWare, otherwise there will be God knows how many disappointed fans at your doors.
Now I know what makes you special.
Congratulations. Humans haven't been on the moon in hundreds of years.
Nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here.
Dying here is much more likely.
Nice pep talk.
Next up on this list, which is one which is sure to cause controversy, is Destiny 2. When someone mentions Destiny, you either want to forget it existed, or you can talk about it for hours on end. There is no in-between, unfortunately, and this Marmite approach to the game gave Bungie a rocky few months after its release. But Destiny quickly separated its fans from its haters and cemented itself as a premium FPS come MMO on consoles. With a solid multiplayer and a very spurring loot collecting feel, combined with the raids, strikes and missions that they provide, its high standard of DLCs helped retain its friendly and large audience while coaxing non-believers back into the fold. While not much is known about the sequel, everyone has agreed upon the fact that it will be released around that Broketober time of year, especially since Bungie have officially confirmed that Destiny's next live event in late March 27th, I believe, is going to be the final one. They've also confirmed that while the physical appearance of your Guardians can be ported over to the sequel, which means your hair, your facial markings, your colour, your race, everything else like armor, weapons, and the in-game microtransaction known as Silver is being left behind in Destiny 1. Interestingly, Bungie have claimed to be making more of an effort with the patrol areas in Destiny 2, with patrols offering NPCs that can and will give you quests. Quite what these quests will offer is up for debate. I personally doubt they'll be fully realised side quests, having played a lot of Destiny. It's good that they are addressing, however, arguably the weakest area of the game, being the patrols. One thing is for certain, with Bungie's obvious pedigree and addictive gameplay and focus on strong community engagement, combined with the massive Twitch and YouTube crowd supporting this game, it will most probably be another financial success. Whether it wholly improves upon the first game and is a success in the eyes of said community, however, that's something I won't be drawn on, not until we know more.
This charming Dr. Reed, is he new?
Yeah, he arrived a few nights ago. Was a war surgeon, I heard. Still got bloodstains under his nails.
Well, he's all right, that one. He sorted me out, even give me something for the pain.
Lovely eyes.
Smells good too.
He had a firm grip right enough, but his hands, cold as ice they were.
Dedicated to his work he is.
Next up on this list is one of the ones that you might not have heard of, is Vampire. Vampire is a third-person action RPG that focuses on a lead character called Jonathan Reed, a doctor that's trying to come to terms with his new affliction, and the abilities that come with it. Set in a fictional London with a basis on the 1918 Spanish flu epidemic and major gameplay focus on the decision to hunt and drink from people, which is something that levels up your character, there's also a lot of information gathering and stalking to be had on offer here. In combat, you can use vampiric abilities to turn the fight to your favour, but this will drain your health and your energy, which in turn forces you to feed to recover. The game does not, however, force you to feed at all from the get-go, although the particular ramifications of this, other than the obvious difficulty spike, are not quite clear just yet. Some of the powers you attain can be used for stealth combat, or a bit of both, obviously, with the ability to control shadows, spring to unreachable areas, or dash forwards at incredible speed, among others. One particular power allows you to forge blood spears by boiling and shaping another's blood. I can't be the only one that thinks that this sounds truly awesome, if a little bit scientifically unproven. From what I understand about the way the game is built, it is similar to Dishonored and Thief in that it is an semi-open world created by linking different hub areas and open areas together, presumably via loading screens. Vampire is developed by quite a few of the people behind Life is Strange, and while it is a different game to Life is Strange altogether, I'm really confident they can do just as well here. Vampire is looking like a really curious and interesting RPG, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
My life has become a waking nightmare. I did not choose the thing I've become, but I can choose the lives I now take.
I never quite realized how beautiful this world is.
The commander's put me in charge of your maintenance, ma'am. That means I'll be performing regular checks on you from now on.
If anyone is listening to this, there's something I need you to do. If you ever meet up with your high unit 9S, I want him.
Next up on this list is Nier Automata. Nier Automata is another third-person action RPG and a sequel to the 2010 game Nier that I actually did not play. Following the tale of an android and a couple of buddies, including an adorable personal robot, Nier Automata is based on the exploration of an Earth taken over by robots. While it is a sequel, it's also set 1,000 years after the first game, so it's probably a safe bet that you don't need to have played that first game in order to enjoy this. Using melee-based combat, Nier crosses multiple genres here with an instant relation to other melee-based games such as Devil May Cry and a much more friendly version of Dark Souls. Dodging and timing combos is important, and each robot enemy has different tactics to beat. Although on lower difficulties, spamming does seem to bring a bit of luck in combat, so if you're good at these types of games, I would definitely consider ramping up a couple of notches. Experience points through leveling is used to upgrade base, health, defense and attack statistics, while characters' customization are controlled with chips that will supply certain upgrades and buffs to help you out. Similar to Dark Souls, items are dropped upon death that can later be retrieved by revisiting your dead body and picking it back up again. Developed by Platinum Games, the studio that were designing Scalebound, thank you Microsoft, they are a truly unique and great studio. Nier Automata is looking like a compelling PS4 exclusive, maybe not quite a system seller, but certainly a promising title. I had to put one game on this list that not everyone might be aware of, and Helix is one of these. Helix is an open world, science fiction, fantasy RPG which is quite the mouthful. The game is based around a certain resource called, unsurprisingly, Helix. It gives people magic-like powers and plays a part in whether emotion or cold logic will rule the world. Sounds a little dark and light to me without too much of a grey area, but that's something we'll have to wait and see how it plays out with the gameplay mechanics. The actual world is a curious mix of futuristic and medieval locations and allows the player to use a combination of guns, swords and magic in combat. There's also a strong focus on exploration, with a jetpack being given to players specifically for this use. Technically a post-apocalyptic game, it's set on a fictional planet called Magellan, which was hit by a massive meteor. The people that survived are fighting to control the resource known as Helix and to determine the fate of the planet, with multiple factions. Helix is set to be a massive open world RPG with apparently a huge game world comprising of multiple areas that link together seamlessly and curiously without loading screens. This world and the people in it apparently react to the way the player acts, and this in turn is supposed to provide compelling decisions and a deep atmosphere. The quest system inside this game strongly supports player choice and helps shape the world around you. There are multiple factions to join, priorly mentioned, each of which use Helix in a slightly different way, one using it to power magical abilities, another using it to power machines and androids, and the third allowing you to basically do whatever you want with the resource, so I'm assuming a combination of both. Overall, Helix is sounding like a curious game with multiple inspirations and gameplay styles, and with the way the developers are talking about the open world and the player choices, it's actually easy to get lost in the possibilities of this game, but it's obviously always better to wait and see. I do think it will have a place within the RPGs of this year, but how good it will actually be depends on the actual execution of the multiple directions and aspiration that this game tries to achieve. That does actually cover it though for today, guys. There are dozens of RPGs being released this year. I'm not even kidding. There are borderline hundreds. Many of which are not to my taste, because I do have a particular taste when it comes to RPGs, and some of which I actually know nothing about. I wanted to put Kingdom Hearts on this list for the PS4, but I know nothing about the franchise or the game, so it felt like a bit of hypocrisy to chuck it on. Obviously, I would have loved to include other titles, such as the Zelda game, Neo, Horizon Zero Dawn, and a few others, but with them already being released by the time this video is out, it seemed a little pointless. Honourable mention does go to Shadow of War. I wanted to put it on this list, but I put it in the video I released yesterday, my gaming news of the week, and there's not a lot to know about it just yet, so it seemed a little bit unnecessary. As usual though, if you feel I missed anything or you disagree with my selections entirely, let me know in the comments below, and until next time, I've been Dodge Gaming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
To yourself, she looked at me, and this is what she said: oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got